Hi all, welcome to Techies Knowledge channel, and today we will discuss one of the data type in Python, which is a list. List or dynamic sized arrays. Okay, it's not what are the elements into the list are not a homogeneous. It can have different data types like integers, strings, as well as objects also it can have in the list. Okay, and list or mutable means it can once we after the creation we can do the changes into the list, like adding the new elements into the list and deleting the existing elements from the list, right? We can do the alter to the after creation of elements. So it's a list or mutable. Okay, and the list will be having the ordered elements. Okay, means one whatever way we are inserting and it will be in the order, right? Because of that we can do the fetching of elements using the index, right? Okay, let's go ahead and see some what are the basic things we can do with the list, how we can create them, how we can alter the list and all. Okay, let's create one empty list. How we can create a empty list? Okay, this is the list name we are giving, and how we can create empty list. See here, for list we have to use the square brackets, and without the elements then we can, this is the empty list. Okay, and if you want to create the list with elements, okay, then let's take it, give some values here. Okay, now this is we are creating another list 2 by giving some values. Okay, let's print it what will, okay, both the list, let's see what will show here. Here this list 1 is an empty list and list 2 is having some values, right? As per creation it should, list 1 should not have any values and list 2 print the these whatever the values we are given when we are creating. Okay, see here, list 1 is not don't have any elements and list 2 is having the elements, right? This is the empty list and this is the list 2 is with the values. Okay, now how we can, okay, this is the way how we can create the list and all. Okay, now let's way how we can right, create a list with multiple distinct duplicate elements. Duplicate means what? Say list 3, I am creating the list 3 here with the duplicate values is like 1 1 1 2 2 3 4 4 4 5 6 7. See here, 1 is the duplicate value, and right, 2 is a duplicate, 3 is not duplicate, so only one value is there, and 4 is a duplicate. So here list will allow the duplicate values, unique values, strings, right? Whatever it is, it will allow all, right? Not a homogeneous element. It's not a homogeneous element. See here, even strings we can add it here, and let's print it list 3. Okay, see here, it will print all the elements whatever we are creating when we right, create the list 3. All the elements it will be created here, right? So this is the way how we can create a list and with the duplicate values and all. And how we know that how many elements are there in the particular list. Okay, now let's consider list 3 is you want to check the length of how many elements are there in that list 3. All right, so we have a inbuilt function length. Okay, length of, give that list name, then it will show you how many elements are there or what are the size of that element list. Okay, here see 13 is written. Let's see how the 13 is here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, right? These are the 13 elements are there. That's why the length of list 3 is it is returning 13. Okay, this is the way how you can get how many elements are there in that particular list. Okay, now let's see how we can add the uh, right, these are, we are not added any element here, we just created the list with values and without values. Now how we can add the elements which is already created list into already created list. Okay, now we have the function which is append. Okay, now append, just do hi, right? In this hand again print it here. Okay, here append is a function which can be added. By using this function we can add the all element or the value which is already created list into already created list. Okay, now list 3 we are printing, we are expecting this element should be added to the list 3 and it should be displayed to the user, right? Now see here, it is adding at the end. Append will always add the element at the end only, right? And we have another way. Okay, now I don't want to add the element at the end, I want to add at the first place. Okay, and how we can add the first place or the second place, how we know this is the only first place or this is the only second place, right? Because list are the ordered one, right? Ordered means, okay, we have the index. Okay, index means index always started here in Python is from 0. Okay, so in index here it is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, 12 elements are there, and after adding the high it will be 13. Index is 13, right? So now I want to add list 3, add another element at the first place. First place means here we need to use the index to right, to insert at the particular place. Here I want to add at the first place means at the beginning of the list means 0 index, because index is a starting here is a 0, right? It's not at the not, it will not start from 1. Python, you just remember index will always start from 0. Okay, so here first place means it should be a index 0, and now I am adding is 20 here. Okay, now print the list 3 and see here 20 is added, because here the 0 is a starting index value and it is adding at the first place, and remaining values are moving and the values will be, index value will be changing. Okay, and here append will always add the value at the end of the list. Okay, insert based on the index and which position you want to add the value, it will, we can add into that. Okay, now I want to add list 3 into list 1 list 2. Okay, how we can merge these two lists into one. Okay, now I want to add list 3 into list 2. Okay, we have the option extend. Okay, here what we are doing, list 3 we are adding into the list 2. Okay, now let's print it, how it will show list 3. Okay, not list 3, it's a list 2, because list 3 we are adding into list 2. Okay, and let's print list 2. See here, it is adding list 3 complete all the values. Okay, all the values, only the values, right? Because list 3 is again a list. Now why it is not added as a list? Because that is the functionality of extend. Okay, extend will take only the values of particular list. Here we are taken as a list 3, right? So list 3, from list 3 it will take only the values and then try to add into the list 2. Okay, but if you want to add, okay, list see here, if we don't want to add it, right, like only the elements you want to add as a complete list only, right? So if you see here, instead of expand, let's use the append. What will happen here, extend will take the values, only the values from the particular list and add into the another list, but append will just do the complete list as a list only. It will not take the values and right, add into the another list. Okay, let's take the append option here. What I am doing here is list 3, I am trying to append list 3 into list 2 and see what will happen here. List 2, see here, it's added as a list only, it's not taken the values from list 3 and and add it into the list 2. Okay, that is the difference here. Append will just add the complete list into the another list or the value, okay, at the end only. See, if you observe here, at the end it is added complete as a list, but extend will not do like that. Extend will take the only the values and add it into another list. Okay, that is the difference between append and um, append and extend. Okay, and another way is accessing the elements. Okay, now we are having the multiple list here. How we can add extract those elements? Okay, now I want to get, as I told, it's a index based, right? It's a index based one. Index will always start from 0 and from left to right. Okay, it will increase the value. Now I want to fetch the second value here, second value from the list 2. Okay, how we can fetch it? Print of list 2, and I am expecting second, means it's not a here, this is index, it's not a second value, means it's not a second position value. If you want to take the second position value from here, then we need to give the index value here. Okay, index always start from 0, right? If you want to fetch the value, second position value, then 0, index is 0 here, and second value index is 1. Okay, so here you should give the 1. See here, and here, because this is the index, based on the index only we are trying to fetch the value. It's not based on the right, what we are expecting, like first position, second position, we have the second value. No, it's a index. Based on the index we can fetch the values. Okay, so this is the one way how we can fetch the or read the values from the list based on the index. Okay, and it's right, we, as we were discussing, index will always start from 0 until the end. How you can fetch it from the end and you don't know how many elements are there, and right, without checking the length of the list, and how we can fetch the element from it's the last element, right? So we have the concept of negative indexing. Okay, remember negative indexing. Okay, negative index is will be starting from the end. Okay, here negative indexing will start from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 and -7, right? So 7 elements are there and it will be -7. Okay, let's assume you want to fetch at the end of the element. Okay, end of element, right? And we are not sure how many, we don't need to sure how many elements are there in that, but you want to fetch it at the end of the element from list 2. Okay, let's print it. List 2. Okay, we will just comment all these things and see it here. Okay, and print it 7. See here, here we are trying to fetch the value based on the negative indexing. Negative indexing always start from right, right side. Right side is a -1. Okay, it will decrease the range it here, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, like that. Okay, this is the single element. Okay, now I want to fetch the range of elements. Okay, now I want to fetch it from first index to till end of the list. Okay, now how we know how many elements are there? We are not sure how many elements are there in that list, and how we want to fetch it from second, or the second element. Okay, second element means what? First index. Okay, first index and till the end of the list. We are not sure how many elements are there, so we have the option. This is the slicing, right? So slicing, we are dividing it, dividing from dividing the list and try to fetch the values. Okay, here the index is second element index is 1. Okay, because index always start from 0. Okay, and we are trying to fetch first second element by, and the index is 1 until the end of the list, and let's try to print it. See here, it is starting, right? This is the starting index 1 and second element it is, and till the end, right here, end of the element. So here we are not given any specific value, so it will read from starting index from left to right. Always it will read from left to right. Okay, always read from left to right. That's what is happening here. We are given the index is 1, one index is having the second value here, and till the end of the list. And okay, now I don't want till the end, only I want to only fetch starting from the second first index and fetch only till the fifth index. Okay, now what I can do, okay, I can give the range of that. Okay, now I am starting from, okay, first index is a 0 index, is this one first index, first, second, third, 4 and 5. Okay, 5 if you give it here, this end index is not inclusive. Here starting index is the inclusive but not the end index. Okay, if you are giving 5 means it will read only till the fourth index only it will read. Okay, let's print it. Okay, see here, 1 is the inclusive because here one index is having the value is a 2, but and fifth index is not readed, it is readed till the fourth index only, right? So this is the first index, first, 2, second, third, fourth, right? This is the fourth only, fourth index, but here index is not inclusive. Okay, just remember here, start index, right, is inclusive, and end index in slicing is not inclusive. Okay, right, and remember always the difference here at append and extend, right? What's the difference? Okay, so here we discussed how we can create the list and how we can create the duplicate elements it will, right, and how we know the how many elements are there in the list by using the length function, and how we can add that, means alter the element list, right, by using like append we can add the elements and insert, right, if we want to insert at the particular position or the right index we want to insert the value, we can use the insert method, and extend like how we can add the right a different list through the another list. Okay, now we tried from list 3 how we can add the values of list 3 into list 2. Okay, and we tried how we can fetch the values. Okay, now we just created the list and how we can fetch them using the right, using the index, and how the negative index always start from right to left. Okay, and positive index will start from left to right, which is a start. Positive index will start from 0. Okay, and negative index will start from -1. And how now we have seen it, how we can create the list, how we can add the elements into the list. Now we can see how we can right, how we can delete the elements. Okay, now print of list 2. Okay, we want to, okay, we want to delete some element. Okay, now let's delete the element. Okay, here 7 are there, 7 elements are there, right? 7 values are there, so you just print it. Now pop is the function to delete a value from the list. Okay, and let's see which element is deleting here. We are not sure what element will do delete, right? We are trying to delete some element, so we can use the pop always delete the element at the end the element. See here, it is simply deleted last element from the list. We are not sure which element is going to delete or not, but it will be delete at the last element. But you want to delete 2 value from list 2. Okay, how we can delete that? We have another function which is list2 dot remove and give the value here. It's not an index. Okay, you can give directly value, which value you want to delete it from the list. Okay, now let's see and print it. See here, it's deleted second value, not the index. Here we are remove function will not work on based on the index. Okay, here we can give directly the value, which value we want to delete it. Pop will always delete the value and end value will delete from the list. Okay, that's the difference here. These two ways we can delete the values from the list, and you want to delete all the values from the list. Okay, we have the method which is a clear, which will delete all the values from the list. Okay, let's print it. See here, empty list, list 2 is printing empty list. Here the values are there, but here clear will delete all the values from the list. Okay, that's the difference, clear, pop and remove. These two ways we can three ways we can remove the values from the list. Okay, and all right, let's comment and see another functions. Okay, how we can negative index and how we can remove the elements. All right, slicing we have seen it, and right, negative index slicing. Okay, let's see some more examples how the negative slicing will work. Okay, let's copy it here. Okay, now negative index we discussed, right? Positive index always start from left to right, which is a 0 till end of the value, how many values are there. And negative index always start from right and start from -1. Okay, -1, -2, this way. Okay, now print list 1, list 3, right, from 2 to 5. Okay, I want to print from second index to fifth. Here end index is not inclusive. Okay, let's print it here. See here, second, so this is the second index, right, not the value. Here second index, what is there? 1 is a 0, 1, 2. Okay, second index is having the 1, and fifth index is not inclusive, it's a exclusive. Okay, it will not be included. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is having till here 2. Okay, 2 to 4 it will be printing. And negative index, how it will print? I want to print from -1. Okay, and it can print right. Okay, let's print it. Oh, -1 to -5. Which values will you print? Okay, here negative index always start from -1, right? So -1, -2, -3, -4, right? Only -4. It will not go to the -5 because end index always is a x. It's not inclusive. Okay, let's print it here. Okay, so but okay, so it will always read from left to right. So if you try this way, okay, see here, because indexing, right, this always will be um, read, this index will always read from left to right. But okay, now okay, I will show you another example here. So here -5 means -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, it will be starting from 4 and it's till 7 because it's not inclusive. Okay, now as we written earlier, I want to print it from -1 till -5. Okay, we have the option from where to where read, right? If we are not giving anything here, it will read from left to right, and if you are giving again -1 here, all right, so it will read from right to left. Okay, now let's print it. Okay, okay, I think here the option, right, it's not a comma, it's a colon. Okay, now see here, it's reading from right to left because based on this uh, value. If we are not giving anything here, by default always it will read from left to right, but you want to read from right to left, then give the value as a -1 here, then it will be reading from right to left. Okay, here it is reading from -1, okay, -1, -2, -3, -4, okay, till the 5 it will read. We are telling them, firstly we are telling, okay, read from right to left, don't read from left to right. Okay, if you remove this one, then it is giving the error, because always it will read from left to right, right? So it is starting from here, means it is don't know, there is no other index right side, so it is giving the, there is no values here, right? Because it will always read from left to right. So for that, if you giving the negative jump here, the value, right, so then it will read it from right to left. Alright, so this is the negative indexing, and we have seen it here, how we can create the list and how we can write which are the values will be allowed, and how we can know the size of the list, and right, how we can add the values into the list using the append, insert, and the differences between them, and right, how we can access the list elements, right. And we have many other built-in functions with the list. We will discuss it again in another video, and please do subscribe to our Techies Knowledge channel, and see you guys.